everyone, this is Wade from fishfindermounts.com, and I'm just doing a little short video here for people to understand. We should have done this a long time ago, but for people to understand when it comes to doing very large transducers, there's a couple specific transducers on the market where you require, when you're buying our products, you're going to require a special adapter in addition to the main kit. So in other words, pretty much every other transducer, like, you know, from Humminbird, Lowrance, conventional transducers, that is, Humminbird, Lowrance, and Garmin, they're already right out of the box compatible with their kits, like a conventional transducer. When I say conventional, I'm not talking about live scope or live sonar transducers, that kind of thing, panoptics or whatever you want to call it. I'm talking about conventional transducers that typically guys will screw on the back of their boat. They may use our products too to mount those, and they're fixed in position when you're moving along. They're scanning. Conventional transducers. That's what I'm really, focusing on here. So what I'm going to the transducer itself, guys. This is an example. This is a very large transducer. This is the Lowrance. Right, these days I believe they call it the 3-in-1 transducer, which means side imaging, down imaging, and 2D sonar, your traditional 2D sonar. They used to call it 3D structure scan. So there's this transducer that we're talking about here, and you can see it's 10 inches long here. Okay, and it is it's over 2¼ inches wide. So it's big and it's heavy. Now, there was a point when they first came out with these and they were shipping these, and these have been out quite a long time, guys, and it's got to this point where they're this size, but they had, a version, one or two versions even before this that were fairly sizable as well. And what they had is these type of brackets, these stainless steel metal brackets that you would, if the camera could come close, that you would screw onto the top of the transducer. You can see the holes that line up there. And this itself is almost a pound. It's stainless steel, it's heavy. By the way, guys, this is our own adapter, and that's what I'm gonna be focusing on here in this video. And this is really for guys that, are buying our stuff, already have our stuff. They wanna know how to put things together properly, and they're a little bit confused. We're here to help with this video. So this is, at a certain point too, Lowrance decided, okay, well, we'll make these plastic brackets. Some guys wanted these. This is nice because it's lighter that way, and I really like these. I don't know why they didn't keep making them, but obviously, not being metal and stuff, this could break, and it would actually save your transducer. So I thought this was a good idea, and again, it made it lighter. So in portable applications like what we're famous for, and that's our focus, making all fish finders portable here at fishfindermounts.com. That was really nice to have. But the truth is, nowadays, Lowrance is just shipping this transducer with this giant steel bracket, or one of these, Anyways, not to get too focused on that part of it, what happens is, conventionally, usually we're using this bracket, it's a bracket like this off of a regular conventional transducer. So as I said earlier in the video, with a conventional transducer, the bulk or vast majority of them out there, you're not going to have to get this adapter I kind of inferred to earlier in the video. But just to show you how typically our stuff will go together, this is one of our, if you're purchasing one of our pole mounts, you would get, and it was a conventional transducer application, you would have this situation, this what we call it our root arm typically, but it should really almost be called our conventional transducer adapter. Okay, so here you have sort of a sliding, I've called it an aperture in the past, and then a little wing nut here that would go on. And so this would go through this bracket, as you see here, like so. This guy would hug over top, and then you take your wing nut. Really nice and easy to put everything together. So just look at that. Never mind about that, that's just a graphical thing, but So you can see how that hugs, right, like so. Really nice and easy and really stable for your portable application, easy to put together. So you're not, guys, when you get these transducers from Garmin, Humminbird, or whatever, their kits have a transom bracket in them. A transom bracket is the stern of the back of your boat. It's a smaller piece of metal that would engage in this spot here. We don't have it here, but it would be another piece that would come off here and it would be flat. It would probably be yay high. And you would screw that into your boat. Now, a lot of guys, the reason why we exist, one of the big reasons is guys don't want to drill holes in their boats. Manufacturers don't drill holes in the boats typically. So, you know, or you're renting boats or whatever. So that piece, when it comes to us and you're not wanting to do that and you come to us and you say, hey, get us one of your magnetic transducer mounts, fishfindermounts.com. Get us one of your pole mounts, your portable pole mounts, whatever. You're going to be using that other piece that goes in a vertical way. You know, it's coming off here in a vertical way and you screw that in your boat. You're not going to be using that, so just keep that in mind. It could be plastic, it could be metal in this case. Plastic and smaller. Now, here you go. Like I'm calling, when we deal with this, you know, Alex, Steve, myself at fishfindermounts.com, your fish finder mounting specialists and experts, and we've been doing this a long time, guys. You come to us, we're going to give you the best advice out there to get your boat set up with some of our amazing, awesome products. But right here, what we've got is this very large transducer. We call this a very large transducer typically when we're talking to you. This is an example of the smallest transducer on the market that I'm aware of that we deal with. This is the bullet transducer from the Lowrance hook series. You can see everything's molded together, okay? And then this is sort of a medium-sized transducer. This is a little bit older. This is I think a GT52 from back in the, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe somewhere in there, and they're making them all black now, and they don't have this nice contour. They're just all straight back and everything. But they've changed the designs over time. You'll notice, like when you get our kits, there'll be this nylon spacers. Sometimes, every once in a while, these guys go back to the split design here, where you actually mount to. So that's where these spacers come in. You can see we're using the same piece that I've showed you, your what we call our fork washer here, guys, our fork washer, and that hooks around this part here, and then of course your bolt goes through those holes. You can't see them here, but that is a spanner, like a bushing to keep the strength there and everything. So that will be included in the kit. So don't throw those things out, because you never know. You might actually end up with a different fish finder and you'll need some of those. You'll be changing and you might need those pieces to continue using our mounts. So just keep that on hand. So here's your bullet transducer. So very small transducer, moderate, and then very large transducers. And the very large ones, this is the Lowrance, as I said, the 3-in-1, and then there's a Humminbird Mega Imaging. Now they make a bunch of different Mega Imaging transducers, or a few of them. And there is a smaller one. When you typically buy a Helix 7 size finder from them, you're gonna get an all molded piece like transducer. It is larger than this one, definitely, and wider, but it's not with a metal bracket like this. Humminbird though makes very large mega imaging transducers, and they're going to be similar to these, quite large, right? You can see how big it is here. So they're going to be quite large. They're going to also have a metal bracket. Now listen, we've got the Lowrance adapter right here, guys. And then now we also have the Humminbird one here. You can see that their bracket's a little narrower than the Lowrance ones. So you need that specific one. And so these parts here, when you're buying our mag mount, magnetic transducer mount, or a pole mount, or whatever it is, you're going to need, if you have one of these huge transducers, for the Humminbird Mega Imaging with your, I think it's Humminbird Helix 10 series and above, and your Lowrance Elite series and things like that, where you're dealing with this guy, the 3-in-1 transducer, you're gonna need one of these adapters. On our transducer mounts page at the bottom, so fishfindermounts.com, shop, and the category is transducer mounts, and at the bottom, near the bottom of that page, our web store page, you'll see these adapters there. That's where you can find them, okay guys? From fishfindermounts.com. So again, You're gonna have this guy in the box. You don't, you know, if you've never bought one of these transducers or whatever, you're gonna get this like this. They're gonna have these separate, they're gonna show you instructions. This is, you just basically line up the holes, put their little screws that they'll include into this guy, and then you're gonna put this adapter right in here, guys, right in here. Okay. So this is the way it works, guys. You just take our transducer adapter for, this is the Lowrance 3in1 transducer adapter here. And you can see it's almost like a sled shape, right? In the winter, you know, you take a sled like this down the hill. And you've got your two mounting holes here, adjacent to one another or across from one another. And we put this guy in between there. Okay? Now your hole's gonna line up all the way through, and you're gonna put your screw in through. That's how this works. Now, just give me a sec here, guys. Just a little bit. So you got that guy there, and then to finish it off, you will take this wing nut here and pop it on that way. And you can get the idea, it's gonna squeeze it on there. But for brevity, I won't go through all that exactly to the very nth degree. This guy will go on here, and you will take the long screw out of this, what we call our root arm, okay? That's what it looks like, and this is available too on fishfindermounts.com by itself if you need to purchase it for some reason unto itself. And you'd have this go right here, guys, okay? That's where it's gonna go. And then you would take your little screw here, feed it through here, and it would go through this hole that I showed you here, and this wing nut would be on the other side there, and it would all be linked together. Now you have, as you see here, guys, your pole mount right here. There you go, it's assembled. Okay, so that's how you do it with fishfindermounts.com when you're dealing with the very large Humminbird mega imaging. And you'll know that you have a very large mega imaging transducer if there's a metal bracket included in the box that's going to go screw on the top of the transducer. You know that you have a mega imaging, Humminbird mega imaging transducer, or a Lowrance 3in1 transducer for their Elite series, and whatever other series they use that for. So this is Wade from fishfindermounts.com showing you how to put together some of our fantastic universal mounts that are making all fish finders and transducers portable. And this is Wade from fishfindermounts.com. Call us at 1-855-784-3474. Talk to one of our experts. We'd be glad to help you get your fish finder all hooked up and ready for your fishing season. Thanks for watching, everyone.